Today I wanted to make a video about beauty blending sponges, ones like this, and these are the two that I own. The most popular one and the one that started it all is the Beauty Blender, and that one is kind of pricey and I've actually never tried it. However, I did try this Sephora brand version, which is a little cheaper, and then an even cheaper one is one that I found at TJ Maxx called Earth Therapeutics is the brand of this one, and it was really cheap. It was either $4.99 or $5.99. So this is kind of the most economical one that I found, but I've heard people also getting them on eBay for, you know, just like a couple of dollars as well. So first of all, this was the first one that I ever bought. And after using it, I really didn't think that these sponges were really all that special. And then later, when I tried this one, I came to find out that that was because this is really not the way that these sponges are meant to be. The Sephora one, the texture of it is different. The way that it's like squishy feels different when you put water in it, because what you're supposed to do is run them through water, squish the water out. This way it doesn't suck up all your makeup into the sponge, into the dry sponge, so it's going to be a damp sponge that you're using. This one actually, nothing happened to it when you did that, but once I bought this one, I saw actually a huge difference, and I saw what these sponges are supposed to be like, and this one completely changed the feel. It was a little bit firmer than this originally, and then once I ran it through water, I squished the excess water out, so it's just a little damp. This got much larger in size. I'm actually going to show you right now a quick little clip of what these were like when they were dry. And now a little clip when you run them through water and you squish the excess out, so you can see how much bigger this one is. So this one grew in size like it's supposed to, and it got really, really soft and really, really spongy. So I actually absolutely adore this sponge. This one, don't waste your money on. It's not really the real thing. I mean, this one's not a beauty blender either, but I think this is much closer to what it's supposed to be like than this, and this is more expensive too. So this sponge, it feels super soft and super squishy, and like I said, it gets much bigger once it has water in it. However, I squish all the water out, so it's, you know, it's not wet. It doesn't make your skin wet. But you can feel it feels a little bit cool on your skin because it is damp. And I like that this part that you use to blend, it's a little bit flatter. I mean, it's not completely flat, it's still rounded, but on here it's much more rounded. So, you know, when you touch this to the surface, see how there's like just a little tiny circle, so to speak, where it's touching it. Whereas this, you can touch much more of an area at the same time, or at once, I mean. So it's a little bit quicker. It's bigger is what I'm trying to say. Basically, that the area that touches your face is bigger, so it's quicker to blend. And how I blend is I just like press, you know, all over my face. I don't put my foundation on all at once. I put it on, say like I start with my forehead. So I'll put it on and I'll kind of like, I don't leave like a big blob of foundation or a dot of foundation, because this does soak it up. Even if you have, you know, water in it, it still soaks up your foundation. So I kind of like halfway blend it, and then I use this and I blend it, you know, completely out. And I've been using this every time that I apply my foundation, and I use it today. Today I'm wearing the new Chorus foundation, which I'm going to do a video on as well, which is their new Quercetin and Oak foundation. And so I just have that on. I blended it out with this. I did need a little bit of concealer additionally, which I blended out with this again. And then I set everything with a powder. And you can actually go over powder if, you know, if maybe you like wearing mineral makeup. that is a powder instead of liquid makeup, you don't necessarily, you wouldn't apply it with this sponge, but you can go over it afterwards. And this being a damp sponge, it's gonna kind of make the powder foundation or the setting powder or whatever, is going to make it look less powdery, less chalky, because you're going over it with a damp sponge. And it might take away a little bit of product because this does absorb into it. Probably not so much with powder foundation, but with liquid foundation I definitely notice a lighter application. So there is a trade-off of you're wasting a little bit of your foundation, especially if you're using like a really expensive foundation. You might be like, I really don't want this sponge soaking up any of my really expensive foundation because it's precious enough as it is, but you do get a lighter application than you would normally if you were to use a flat top brush. A flat top brush, will definitely apply it as in a thicker layer. However, the benefit of this is that it gives you a really natural look, and it applies your makeup really evenly, and it looks nice and smooth and even, and you don't have any kind of like cakiness. You don't have too much makeup in one area, and too little in another, and it just looks really natural and just like a nice light application of foundation. So I personally like this because I prefer my makeup to look less like makeup and more like, oh, I'm not wearing any makeup or am I? So I really love this. This has really changed liquid makeup for me. I used to not really wear liquid makeup very much, but with this, I use it with this foundation, and then I use it with my Jane Iredale BB cream, which I really love as well. That one's a little bit of a better coverage foundation. And this is just really great, especially if you have a foundation that you have a hard time applying, that tends to go on cakey, that maybe is like thick, on the thicker side, and you just have a hard time blending it. This is going to be a huge help. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to say. I just wanted to share with you this new discovery, because like I said, I originally bought this and I was like, oh, is this like, what is all the fuss about? But this is really like made out of the wrong material or something, because then I purchased what they're really supposed to look like. And this is, just, I really like it. I guess the people that I would not recommend it for is if you really like to put on like a thicker layer of your makeup, and you like to apply it with like a flat top brush, and if you were to thin down the application of your makeup a little bit, if that wouldn't be enough coverage for you and you wouldn't like that, then you probably won't like applying it with this, because that's what it's gonna do for you. But everybody else, I think that there's a chance that you will like it. And you can use this little tip as well for like under your eyes. I've been putting my under eye concealer on, just like with my finger or with the applicator, and then blending it out with this. So it just gives you a nice even layer, because especially if you blend with your fingers, sometimes you like blend away, you like remove the product accidentally. That's why they say to like tap your under eye concealer and don't like blend it. So this kind of makes it a little bit more foolproof and a little bit easier. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to say about these little sponges, and I'm really glad that I discovered them, and thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you. Bye.